imagine him betraying his country's secrets, can one? Still less having much truck with intellectuals. Oh, fortunatum natum. We, it seems, my dear Elliot, continue to be bedeviled by the Sorbridge case. People are asking questions in the name of civil liberties, if you please, as to why he pleaded guilty and why he got such a long sentence. As you know, it's my considered opinion that in common with all the other so-called atom spies, he should have been shot. However, our master takes the view that a little private conversation could save a good deal of public fuss, which is where I look to you.
You want me to talk to them?
I want you to listen to one of them. Listening never did any harm, and you might trust someone with your, shall we say, radical background. It appears he wields some influence with the Bloomsbury set, and it's a fact of life that politicians long to be loved by aesthetes. I wouldn't know how to rationalize it, I merely state it.
Who is it you want me to see?
He's an art critic of sorts by the name of Davidson. Austin Davidson. You know him?
I've never met him.
Are you positive?
Quite.
Oh, perhaps I'm muddling things. He gave the impression, or someone else did, that he knew you. Some, family connection, perhaps.
I used to know his daughter before her marriage.
I expect that was it. He let it be known that you'd be acceptable as someone to talk to. I'd be very much obliged if you could see your way to reassuring him that the wretched Sorbridge got no more than his just deserts, without, of course, telling him anything he ought not to know.
Very well. Mr. Davidson, there's a lot of nonsense about intelligence work, but so long as there are rival governments, the way in which a lawful government obtains its information from its enemies seems to me a legitimate secret.
Convenient.
True.
Accepting that, then, I come straight to the next question. Why did he plead guilty?
I've no idea.
If you couldn't disclose your other evidence, he could have tied you all in knots.
Often wondered why he didn't.
What I want to be convinced of is that he wasn't subject to any unfair threats or unfair inducements, come to that.
Well, if there were, why hasn't he complained about them? He's still a communist. If he had anything to complain about, I'd have thought he'd shout it from the rooftops.
Point. Last question. 14 years seems a savage sentence. Was there any pressure on the court to make an example of him?
Well, I'd be astonished if anyone in authority attempted to influence the court. Well, on the other hand, there was a good deal of popular indignation. Well, judges are affected by the climate of opinion just as much as anyone else.
So, on the whole, you're happy about the case?
Well, people like me have only two choices. Either keep out and let others do the dirty work, or stay inside, try to fend off the worst horrors, and know all the time we shan't come out with completely clean hands. Well, neither's a happy choice. If I had a son, I'd advise him to do what you did and get born in a luckier time and place.
Yes. My daughter said you must be feeling something like that. Well, now, I don't think there's anything more you can tell me. I'm glad to have found someone who could speak straight. I'm giving a show at my house next week. A private view for 2 young painters. Would that interest you?
Very much.
Splendid. I'll send you an invitation.
Thank you. Margaret?
Louis?
What do you think of the...
How are you?
Could be worse.
Still stoical?
No, my life isn't intolerable.
But what?
There's not much in it.
Yes. That's what I was afraid of.
Excuse me. Had enough. I rather think I have.
You don't know my husband, do you? Geoffrey, this is Louis Elliot.
Ah,
Hollis,
Elliot. Enjoying the show?
within limits.
Quite. Well, not to seem rude, but if you've looked your fill, perhaps you ought to make a move. Helen will be waiting to get off.
My sister.
She's sitting in with the infant.
Yes, how is your son?
Morris? No, he's all right. You better come and see him for yourself.
No, he wouldn't enjoy it.
Well, oh, come to lunch. Then you can inspect the boy.
It would be very inconvenient for you.
Come tomorrow.
I'd like that.
Of course, I'm fortunate. The majority of doctors have to deal with patients who, by and large, are going to get worse. With children, most of them are going to get better. That's a bonus. It gives quite a different flavour to the work.
Yes.
But then, I imagine much of your work is preventative? Or in the sense of saving the nation from the wilder flights of political fantasy?
Well, that's how we like to flatter ourselves.
But seriously, though, isn't it a little arid?
Well, one used to cultivate the art of passionate detachment.
Have you?
With qualified success. Oh, it helps that I'm making some sort of headway as a writer.
Really?
Well, no publisher yet. What do you make of the Berlin situation?
Oh, yes. A parent who came in mentioned it was in the news again, but I haven't read a paper myself.
Are you that busy?
Oh, no. It's a matter of choice. Some time ago, I found that the papers made me slightly miserable most of the time. Which didn't do anyone else any good and made me marginally less efficient, so we gave them up.
Well, I couldn't do that.
If more of us simply concentrated on the things we can affect, there'd be a lot less tension all round, and the forces of sweetness and light might stand a chance.
Well, I think you're dangerously wrong.
He's absolutely right. We have to deal with things that are close enough to handle.
You can't cut yourself off from the common experience. And if you try, you lose by it.
How?
As a person. If you shut out things that are painful, you diminish yourself.
You realistic men who live in the world are hopelessly impractical when it comes to the point. Geoffrey likes to deal with children, and he likes to be happy. No one but you worries about whether you're diminishing yourselves or not.
Well, I've never been happy for recipes for the good life, which depend on one's being abnormally privileged. Your whole attitude would be unthinkable unless you happen to be in one of the very few jobs which is obviously benevolent. And the pair of you come from families who are more used to doing good than having it done to them.
That's grossly unfair.
Is it?
Well, I wouldn't deny there may be something in it.
I don't patronize anybody.
Not individuals, perhaps, but you're stuffed to bursting with social patronage.
I'm inclined to think there may be something in that.
I suppose you'll accuse me of being a snob next.
In a rarefied sense, yes.
Feeding time?
You can be even more infuriating than I remembered.
Well, that's a relief. While there's life, there's wrath.
I must be getting back.
We must talk.
Can't we leave it?
I used to be the expert at that. It's exactly an unqualified success.
We're peaceful now.
It's the same for me as when we first met. I hope it's the same for you.
You don't hope. You know it. When were you sure?
Some time ago.
That evening at my father's?
I think before, but I was afraid my imagination might be cheating me.
What time that evening?
When I saw you standing there, before we spoke. And you?
Later. But I wanted you to come that evening.
I told you it was the same for me. There is one difference. I hope I've changed a little in myself. I know I've changed in what I want. I want for us exactly what you did.
I never thought I'd hear you say that. Are you sure?
I'm sure of what I want. I can't be sure that I've changed in myself. It's very hard to know what's happening in one's own life.
Coming from you, that's rather funny.
Yes. I used to think that I was in control. More and more I find life taking over. Don't you?
Maybe. If so, it's frightening.
Yes, but it's made me less willing to see things in terms of my own nature. Or at any rate, that side of it which did both of us such harm. The point I'm making is that I can't avoid commitment now.
If we could start again, you'd look a bit silly, wouldn't you? Especially to people who knew our story. Besides, the real point is that you haven't had much practice at behaving badly.
Behave to you before was far worse than anything I have to do now.
But you're asking me to hurt others. To act against my beliefs and nature.
Do you think I haven't faced that?
I wasn't absolutely sure. You'd know, well, you've just said you know, what it would mean for me to come to you. You'd be committed more than anyone ought to be. If anything went wrong, I'd be afraid for you. I'm just not strong enough.
You will be.
No. It's too late. I knew it this afternoon when I was getting ready to come here. This has been a wonderful illusion. It's not real. The reality... Oh, you must know you've been married. The reality is my husband and my child.
Yes. Even when things were at their worst, there was a sort of moral calm in getting back to Sheila.
Oh, don't be so damned metaphysical.
Look, we can't decide anything
There's nothing
now.
to decide.
There is.
Oh, Louis. Louis, it's too hard for me.
Listen,
No. Would you get me a taxi, please, and let me go home?
this is just a phase.
Please, there's no future in it. Please, let me go home. Please.
I shall telephone you tomorrow.
It'll be cruel if you do.
Would you get me a line, please?
I'll get it. Holly's here. Damn.
Who was it?
God knows. They rang off.
I expect it was a wrong number.
Probably. All the same, I wish people wouldn't do that. Back about the usual time.
Cruel or not, I just couldn't leave it there.
Not as easy to end as all that, is it?
I hope not. I think not.
Go on thinking it. I don't want to move. Whatever we do, it's not going to be easy.
No.
There are so many other people to think of. My father, my sister Helen.
I haven't forgotten Geoffrey and the child.
Don't ask me to hurt either of them. I'll do anything for you, as long as it doesn't hurt them. I'm all yours.
What are you saying?
We've got to hide it. Never thought I'd want to hide anything. But I'll do it for you. I'll do it because I need you. It'll take some hiding. I'll have to let my sister know so that I can get away. I won't be able to come to you more than once or twice a week. But that'll make up for everything. It'll be our lifeline. We can go on forever. We'll be better off than most people ever are.
No. Must be all or nothing.
How can it?
Must be.
You're asking too much.
Have you begun to think what a hole-in-the-corner affair would do for you? Oh, in the beginning, it'd be a bit of an adventure. All things to all men. Wife, mistress, mother. Every woman's ideal role. But what it means is lie upon lie. Corroding every relationship you have for the sake of one you begin to dislike more and more.
What does that matter, as long as it avoids pain for others?
It wouldn't avoid pain for me. I don't mean jealousy. I mean deprivation. Being quite selfish, I want you to be with me all the time.
I can't be sad. I can't be. But I don't see that there's a way. I beg you, let's try my way.
No.
Margaret has told me about you two.
I'm glad.
Are you?
I'm glad that someone knows whom we can trust.
That's not the most fortunate remark ever made. What you and Margaret are planning is wrong. I'm not just speaking as her sister.
You make moral judgments more easily than I do.
I dare say I overdo it. But I think you go to the other extreme, and that has a certain advantage to you when you're planning what you're planning now.
What do you think I'm especially pleased about it?
Of course you're worried, but I don't know, I'd say you seemed happy underneath it all. Not that I don't want you to be happy.
Thank you.
Just that I want her to be happy too. When someone comes to anyone in your predicament and says, "Of course I wish you both well, but," it means they're trying to break it up.
Is that true of you?
Quite true. I still love her very much. When you first came on the scene, I was more than willing to be fond of you. But the child's there now. That's the end of it.
I've seen him.
It didn't stop you.
No.
I can't understand you, either of you. I'm ready to believe that you and she could have made something more valuable for each other than she and Geoffrey ever could. I hoped that you'd get married in the first place. Other things being equal, you may still be right for each other, still capable of being good for and to each other. But you can't go back to it now.
Well, I don't see why not.
Because you can't. You can't risk doing the slightest harm to the child. And not just for his sake, but for hers too. You know what it would do to her if anything went wrong with him.
Well, there's no reason anything should go wrong.
You can't take the risk. If things went wrong for him, it wouldn't matter that you may feel it wasn't your fault, that he'd never have coped anyhow. That's not how she would feel. If anything went wrong with him, she'd never forgive herself.
You may be right.
I know I am.
In which case, we'll just have to deal with that too.
It would be there coming between you for the rest of your lives.
I think you set too much store by maternal love.
You don't think Margaret feels it?
I know she feels it passionately. I know also she doesn't measure it on the same plane as our love for each other. And what's tearing her apart is having to try to find a balance between the two. You don't do that by denying either.
You've no right to do it.
You must let us answer for ourselves.
Oh, well, that's too easy. I better tell you now that if you go ahead with this, I shan't give either of you the slightest help. I won't make it easier for you by half an hour.
Do you hope that that will change our minds?
I hope so very much. If I can do anything to stop her coming to you, I shall do it.
Hello, Kensington 1193.
Helen's just been giving me the benefit of her views.
Yes, I knew she was against us.
We must settle it. When can we meet?
It'll be easier next week.
It's too long.
Wait. I'll go to tea at my father's on Friday. You can call and meet me there. Don't worry.
That's easy to say.
If only you knew. But I'll do it. I'll tell Geoffrey. I'll tell him, but you must wait.
I can't.
No, you must. Geoffrey's due to sit his examination for his membership in a fortnight. His qualification as a specialist. Well, he happens to be a bad and nervous examinee. I have to take care of him this last time.
I'm sure it's all very noble and high-minded.
No, it's hateful. It means dissimulating. It means inaction. But I can't desert him now. Just when he's at his most vulnerable. I have to give him 2 weeks' grace after all these years.
If you must.
It'll soon be behind us. Now I want to do something. I want us to go and tell my father.
Only one more paper to go.
Yes?
I haven't felt so fagged out since I finished my finals.
Poor lamb. Well, then I think. I thought you were fagged out.
Not that fagged out.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought he finished his examination on Tuesday. Now we've got to hang on for the blast of results, have we? I see. And what if he fails? I suppose we've got to prop him up until he can take them again, do we?
I know I've been at trial these last weeks, but I'd never have got through if it hadn't been for you. As your reward, where would you like to go to dinner?
Geoffrey, I've got something to tell you.
Fire away.
There's no nice way of doing this. I'm in love with Lewis Elliot.
Tell me this isn't happening.
I'm afraid it is.
But I mean, you and he... I mean, I always knew you married me on the rebound, but I thought that was all over.
So did I. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have married you.
I don't understand. Are you having an affair?
No.
Well, you want to go back to having one, is that it?
We want to get married.
You may have forgotten that you are married to me.
Geoffrey, I'm
but
sorry.
I can't believe that you've forgotten we have a child.
No.
Happens to be at a very vulnerable age. I thought you loved him. But then, I thought you loved me. No, not with a grand passion, perhaps, but you'd abandon us both, just like that, for the sake of a man who's already let you down once.
No, he's changed.
I want to talk about him.
If you'll let me, I'll take Morris with me.
You take my son to live with your lover?
You can see him whenever you want to.
Oh, thank you. You may have no shame, but I do have some pride.
If you won't let me, I shall have to leave you both.
Have to? Oh, for God's sake. Go and get the fellow out of your system once and for all.
Geoffrey, it's
and
not
then
like
later,
that. It's not like that. However hurtful it may be to you, you have to believe that I love Lewis. I think I always have. Anyway, forgive me, but feeling as I do, I can't go on making a life with you. And if that harms Morris, then I can only hope it'll harm him less than it would for him to one day grow up and find out that we only stayed together for his sake.
Bitch!
I'm truly sorry to have made you do that.
Sanctimonious, bloody bitch!
Hello. Oh, it's you. Well, I told him. It'll be all right. But he... It'll be all right.
This is
charitable of you, Lewis.
Mr. Knight.
After all that happened between you and my daughter Sheila, there are many things that you and I would find difficult to talk about. But I do hope that by now you may have discovered the great gift of a happy marriage.
I'm coming to know it.
I seem to recall the announcement of a birth in the Times, or was it the Telegraph?
Yes, we have a boy of 15 months. He's called Charles.
I hope he gives you cause to be proud of him. You may be one of those parents whose children bring them great happiness. Sometimes I go back to those days when you first came to my house. Has it ever occurred to you that it was a quarter of a century ago? And I sometimes wonder, Lewis, if all that time ago you did not contemplate even more of the world's baubles than, well, have actually accrued to you. At that age, there was a formidable power within you.
Yes, at that age, I expected to cut more of the figure by now.
Perhaps if it had not been for Sheila, you would have made a better start.
I doubt if in the long run it would have made much difference.
Still, your writing has brought you a measure of success. I'm told your last novel did well.
Reasonably well.
I'm glad. I still think of Sheila and ask myself about her. I have wondered whether you do the same.
Often.
You ask yourself what you did wrong and how you might have helped her. You are not to blame. I cannot blame you. There was something strange about her long before she ever met you. Even as a child, she was remote. I remember when she was about 6 or 7. I was immensely proud of her. I told her how beautiful she was. I can see her eyes on me now. I should have been able to reach her, but I never could. I should have been able to help her, but I never could. I believe now that I did her far more harm than good.
I'm sorry.
Here's Daddy.
Hello, Morris.
Luis.
How's it going?
Right, I think. Thank you.
Hello, my son.
Was it bad?
Well, wanted me to listen to his sorrow for having failed Sheila.
Well,
I was sorry for him.
is that all?
Yes. Well, I'd feared. I don't know, the sort of pain I felt when I've met somebody who knew Sheila and I together. And today, talking to her father, I felt sorry for him. Well, I thought of Sheila with pity and with love, but the aura that surrounded her, that survived her death, even survived our time together so far. But somehow the magic is altogether gone now. I hope she's comfortable. But that's all.
Oh, my dear.
For all his grief, the old rogue didn't miss the chance to point out how I'd failed to live up to my early promise.
What did you say?
Well, I said there was something in what he said. didn't tell him what I might have done. With you, I think I can accept whatever life has to offer.
I wish to God I was able to give you another child. You ought to have been a bit of a patriarch, oughtn't you?
Needn't matter to him, though.
I hope not.
I think I've learned enough not to get in his way. And if I haven't learned by now, I never shall.
We're going.
Going? But you've only just arrived.
It's the nanny's night off.
If you'd brought the children, you could have stayed longer. Why didn't you?
Well, Charles seems to have got a bit of a cold.
Well, I don't suppose that'd finish me off if a coronary couldn't.
As a matter of fact, we were thinking of him.
Oh. Quite right, too.
Lewis thinks there'll be another general election soon.
I should have thought one had to be a morbidly good citizen to find the prospect beguiling.
Well, I don't think anyone does.
I should have thought it lacked picturesque features to a remarkable extent. No, as far as I'm concerned, there would be one mildly picturesque feature if I had the strength to go to the polls, which seems improbable. But if I did, I should be voting Conservative for the first time in my life.
Well, you wouldn't be alone.
Really?
Well, I couldn't bring myself to do it, but I should think 8 out of 10 of my professional acquaintances will.
It might be worth thinking about. Well, if you're going, you'd better go. Goodbye, Lewis.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Who the devil's...
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, Mrs. Elliot. But Charles suddenly took a turn for the worse, and I couldn't think what to do but to send for the doctor.
I don't think it's anything very terrible. I'm a bit of an old woman at the best of times. And with these very small children, I can't help thinking of the rare things that might just possibly happen to them. But I don't think there's the least justification for suspecting any of them here.
I'll just have a look.
Of course, your nanny was quite right to send for me. Much better safe than sorry. I think it's just a touch of this flu that seems to be going the rounds.
I think he's in real pain.
A headache's frightening at that age. The thing is to keep him in bed until his temperature's down. But look here. You're to call for me at once if there's the least sign of deterioration.
I will.
Thank you. Yes, darling, I'm coming.
Right then.
You awake?
Yes,
You've been able to get to sleep?
not yet.
Doesn't seem any worse.
No.
What are you thinking?
Yes, there is something.
Tell me.
He seems to be on the mend. We may not need it, but I've been thinking. If he does get any worse, I don't want you to mind, but I want you to let me have Geoffrey in to see him.
Seems strange.
I don't care what it seems. He's a first-class children's doctor.
Well, there are others.
He's the best.
Oh, God knows I don't want to row.
Don't you see? If he gets worse... And there's Morris. I want to be sure he's looked after, but if Charles gets worse... I don't think I could bear it unless I had complete confidence in a doctor.
Yes, but must it be Geoffrey?
I'd know then that we'd done the best we could.
I suppose that's all that matters. We can forget everything else.
Yes.
Look, if you think Geoffrey's the best man, then you'd better have him.
Thank you.
There you are.
Who's going to take me to school?
I will. Come on,
Bye-bye, darling.
get on to Geoffrey.
It's a meningitis. A straightforward one, I'd say. Mind you, that's quite bad enough. If this had happened 20 years ago, I should have had to warn you that he might not recover. But nowadays, with a bit of luck, we reckon to cope. Oh, thank you. Don't let Morris in here until we've got things straight.
I was going to ask.
Well, he's already been exposed to infection. Watch him for the least trace for cold. At the first sign, right or wrong, we'll inject him. The injection's not working, my dear.
Can't we come with him now?
No. You'd only be in the way, and once we got him settled, I couldn't let you near him.
You'll ring us if there's any change.
For better or worse.
Well, of course I shall. You can telephone the ward sister at any time, but there'll be no point until this evening. If it'll help, I'll be happy to see you myself in the morning, by which time we should know where we are. Shall we say 10 o'clock?
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And look after Daddy and Mummy and Lewis and me. Oh yes, and especially Charles, please.
That's right. Good night, darling.
Good night, Mummy.
God bless. See you in the morning. Don't you think you've had enough?
Probably. What about you?
No, I definitely have.
If only there was something we could do.
Ring up the ward sister.
I daren't.
Hello, Anderson ward, please. Hello, is that the ward sister? Yes, I'd like to inquire about a patient of Dr. Hollis. Elliot, Charles Elliot. It's his mother. What does that mean? You can't tell us anything more? I see. Thank you. Yes, we'll ring up tomorrow morning. They say he's holding his own. We would have heard if he'd been any worse.
Suppose so.
Geoffrey promised. He'd be utterly reliable about anything like that.
Yes, I believe it would be.
He would. This just means that there's nothing to tell us, that's all.
Oh.
I'm trying to reach you.
Yes.
To share.
I know.
If we can't do that, then we've failed.
If he dies, I don't think I could go on living. Not in this sense.
Yes, You say there's no change to speak of.
Just had to hope we can get some sense out of Geoffrey.
I think perhaps it might be better if you went alone.
But
No, don't pretend.
it's an extraordinarily generous and imaginative offer.
Don't refuse it just to save my feelings.
I couldn't do that. Or out of duty, or the ordinary, kind surface of love.
Good.
No. Come with me.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Why?
Well, if he dies, I shan't be much use to you. I shall need you.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Elliot. Mr. and Mrs. Elliot.
Oh, yes, the doctor is expecting you. If you wouldn't mind waiting in his office.
Thanks. Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Elliot are waiting in your office for you, Doctor.
Thank you.
He'll be all right. He'll do.
Thank God.
It's interesting. I've noticed it before. The instant the objective signs begin to go right, the child seems to know. One's only got to look at his face. It's interesting. One might have thought there'd be a time lag. At the moment the count in the lumbar fluid showed we'd really got this one under control, and the boy was able to hear again, and his mind began to clear. And you needn't worry. There oughtn't to be any after effects. He's a fine boy. Fine boy.
So is yours.
Yes. I suppose he is. But then I should have expected him to be so.
I am watching for the first signs of anything wrong with him.
If nothing happens within a fortnight, he's clear.
I'll do anything you say.
Well, even if he does show some signs, you needn't take it too tragically. After all, we'd be pretty incompetent if we didn't get it in time. And children are very tough animals. You ought to remember that. I'm glad I was able to do something for your child. I'm glad I was able to do something for you.
It was good that you were there.
Yes, it was good for all of us. Even Geoffrey.
Yes. Why?
Because he was powerful when we were abject. We were completely in his hands. He was able to help. Somehow, that swept all our hidden shames away.
Something I must try to say. At a time, I think through all your care and grief, I returned to the time when I needed to keep my inner self inviolate.
Yes. That's what I was most afraid of.
As a child,
What?
I never took a sorrow to my mother. And I kept them from her to protect her, I suppose. And when I first loved, I found it was no accident. Well, Sheila was so self-bound that another's sorrows didn't exist.
They exist for me.
I realized, in the nick of time, I realized that morning. There's something else, too. more. Our sorrows don't just exist for one another. They are at the core of our marriage, just as much as any hope, and all our joy.
Yes, I suppose there are some who'd say we'd come through. Oh, I suppose some would really say we've come through.